Across this whole valley, thousands of flowers are floating above their own shadows. Nothing holds them up. No wind, no wings. So how can flowers fly? This is Calenna, a warm valley world, and every day here quietly leaves the ground. To understand the noon, it helps to begin with the morning. At dawn, every bloom rests its heavy crown of seed bulbs on the grass, and in the cool between the stems, the meadow's smallest residents are already awake. These are bobbins, featherweight, unhurried, and never far from a flower. They breakfast on fallen petals and seed husks, one tiny bite at a time. The morning air is still and smells of warm grass and pollen. When a bobbin wants a better seat, it simply climbs, wide, soft toes spread flat against the stem. Even so, the stem bows. It settles onto the broad flower head and waits. It knows what is coming. As the sun climbs, something faint begins to move through the meadow. One by one, the heavy heads sway upright, as if growing lighter. The whole valley seems to take one long, slow breath, and then, in perfect silence, the first flower parts from the earth. Then 10, then hundreds. The meadow is leaving the ground. By midday, the entire valley floor has quietly risen into the air. The bobbins ride, lying flat, tails fanned wide, going wherever the warm air goes. This is how a bobbin spends its noon, adrift and fast asleep. The tail is the secret to the seat, wider than the body, laid flat for balance. Below, their shadows keep pace, gliding across the grass like quiet company. The flowers drift at walking pace. Nothing on Calenna moves faster than that. Sometimes two blooms meet. They bump softly and slowly begin to turn. Their riders make use of the visit, neighbors for a minute or two. One grooms the other's ears until the flowers drift apart again. Farewells here are unhurried. Everything meets again eventually. On one bloom, a young bobbin is taking its very first ride. It grips hard at first. Its parent beside it barely grips at all. Little by little, the small toes loosen. The flower does all the work. At the height of noon, the whole airborne meadow moves together like a tide. Lunch is delivered by the breeze, a passing flowerhead offering its husks. This one misses. It settles back, unbothered. There will be another. Patience on Calenna is always rewarded within the minute. Not every flower flies. Here and there, some stay faithfully on the ground. Their round bulbs have cracked open, and their flying days are done. The bobbins graze calmly around them. Nothing here is wasted, and nothing is hurried. The afternoon lengthens, and the light begins to turn amber. The drift is slowing now. The blooms ride a little lower than they did. Their shadows rise to meet them, closer with every passing hour. The bobbins doze on, trusting the flowers to know the way down. And then, in ones and twos, the landings begin. Each flower sinks the last little distance and lands with the softest flump. Some come down far from where they rose this morning. That is rather the point, for where a flower lands, its seeds will sleep. The drift sows tomorrow's meadow. So why do the flowers of Calenna fly? The answer is a gentle one. Each of those round bulbs is thin-walled and holds nothing but warm air. All morning, the strengthening sun warms the air, sealed inside each bulb. By noon, that warm air has swelled just enough to lift the whole flower. Every flower is a soft balloon, no bigger than it needs to be, and when evening cools the air inside, every flower settles softly home. The bobbins learned this long ago. At noon, the sun offers a ride. Dusk settles in, and the riders come down to walk the earth again. They gather at the stem bases, where the night's beds are waiting. Their nests are woven from dry petals, shallow and warm and shared. They sleep curled together, tails laid gently over one another like blankets. Above them, the flowers rest their heavy heads on the grass once more. The valley is still now, only the soft, papery whisper of petal against petal. Tomorrow the sun will climb, the bulbs will warm, and the meadow will rise again. For now, Calenna sleeps, held by the earth and dreaming of the air.